back, Uber has pulled its self-driving cars off the road after one of its vehicles hit and killed a woman crossing the street in Arizona. Despite that, driverless cars are now being allowed on some Australian roads. So, are they safe? Expert Ross Dawson is here to tell us. Good morning to you, Ross.
Good morning.
They are still investigating that case in the US, but what are your thoughts on that?
Well, the evidence is still out. We still need to hear what the things are. But the police chief has said that apparently the woman in question ran out essentially in front of the car, and her initial assessment was that basically the driver, there was a human driver supervising it, and the car itself weren't able to avoid the accident. Now, this is not to say that these self-driving cars are completely safe. I don't think they ever will be. But I think it's important to put this into context. There are 1,200 Australians killed and 30,000 Australians hospitalised every year through human drivers. Around 94% of them are caused by human drivers. And so the question is not so much whether the driverless cars are completely safe, but whether they are safer than human drivers. And so far, the evidence seems to be yes.
So when there is no driver, though, who is at fault if there's an accident?
That is a very good question.
Yeah.
And so the lawyers and the regulators are trying to work that out at the moment. At the moment, in many states and countries, it would be the software designer, the one who created the car, in this case, Uber. In the case of New South Wales, the laws are a little bit different, where if there is a human supervisor, which there always has to be at this point, they are at fault, whether it was the autonomous car that was in control or whether it was just the human driver who was driving it at the time.
When do you think we will get to that stage where there's no supervisor, where it's literally just you and the car?
Well, we actually have that in the United States already. So Waymo, a sister company of Google, has cars where there is no steering wheel. And these are on the roads in California at the moment. So these are still experimental. But that is certainly the place where we want to get to, where we get in a car, we don't need to worry about anything, it takes us where we want to go. Wow. And that's part of the advantage. Part of the advantage of the self-driving cars is the safety. It also gives mobility to people who can't drive for various reasons, elderly people or disabled people. And it also enables us to sit back and watch a movie while we're being driven around.
Gee, it gets you thinking, doesn't it? It is the way of the future. Ross, great to have you here this morning. Thank you so much.
Real pleasure.
Over to you, Carl.